think we do introductions. I'm not sure though.
I believe I'm up first. So, hi, my name is Darcy Lewis.
Hi, I'm Captain Carter.
Rick Tyler, aka Our Man.
Hi, I'm Yelena Belova.
Wanda Maximoff. Okay. Okay. I could sense the sarcasm through the screen.
All right, well, it looks like our first question to get things going is, what is everyone's origin story? And Aurora, who sounds a little sarcastic, seems to be echoing that sentiment.
I mean, that seems a little personal, but okay.
Who wants to go first? I don't.
I guess I'll go. My dad was the first Our Man. Then he and my mom were killed by the Injustice Society, and now I'm Our Man with my friends, Dr. Midnight, Stargirl, and Wildcat too.
These are not heroes I've heard of, but also I don't pay that much attention, so that's my fault.
I think we're in a different universe.
Great. Guess what Doctor Strange is warning us about.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Yep, all right, that confirms it.
How
I
many
met
Doctor
this Doctor
superheroes
Strange
are
at
there?
some point, so
Oh.
he seems to know quite a bit about this multiverse, although I'm not sure that he was entirely there, at least the version of him I met, so.
Okay.
Him is really fully there.
Interesting.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to go?
I guess I will go next. Actually, where to start? So I worked for the SSR as a consultant during World War II, and a consultant on the Project Insight, Project Rebirth. And during that project, Steve Rogers was to receive the Super Soldier Serum, first of its kind. Was supposed to change the tide of the war, but there was a sabotage occurred during the experiment, and so Steve was no longer able to take the serum, and so I chose to take the serum, much to the disagreement of others in the room. And then after that, they wanted me to just, stay out of the way, but clearly my efforts were needed in the war, so I continued to assist until we had to stop an interdimensional being from entering this world and destroying it. So in stopping that being, I ended up trapped in a different dimension or universe. I'm not quite sure what it was, before returning to the present at 2012. So that was quite an adjustment. Any questions?
So many, but I won't ask them.
Rick Tyler's trying to do the math, like, huh?
I believe I am chronologically about 70 years old. However, at the time of leaving the 40s, I was about 22. So.
Listen, Beth is the smart JSA member. I just hit things. I don't know what you want me to do. That's very cool, though. Nice origin story.
Thank you.
I can go next. So at 3 years old, I was taken to be a part of a special assignment where I played the part of a daughter in a family, in a nice American family, when really we were Russian spies and assassins. And then at age 6, I got taken to the Red Room by General Dreykov, where I trained to become a spy assassin myself, and have since, succeeded in my endeavors. And my sister's an Avenger, so that's normally the most exciting part of that story.
What's an Avenger?
That was Elena's favorite question she's ever been asked. What's an Avenger?
What is an Avenger? No, they're, the world's greatest superheroes and all that.
It's not very humble. Oh, sorry.
No, they're, I don't know. But my sister got out of the Red Room. She's a bit older than me. And she escaped and she defected to S.H.I.E.L.D. and then she became an Avenger and now she's the Black Widow and everybody loves Natasha.
I think you're cool too.
Thank you.
I guess.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm bad at giving compliments, okay? I'm not good at it.
That's okay, it was close enough.
Well, I know there's a multiversal difference occurring here, but the Natasha of my universe spoke very highly of you, so.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I mean, I also love Natasha, but like sometimes
You're the little sibling.
I have to bully her. She's my big sister, and like she's also a huge poser. So like, I feel like it's justified.
My origin story is not as cool as everyone's because I'm not a superhero. I am just very good with technology. I was around when Thor fell to Earth and then kind of got sucked in it because my best friend decided she was in love with Thor, and that was a whole other issue that we had, but we move. And yeah, then every time anyone needs any tech things and Tony Stark is not around, I get pulled into it because I'm really good with computers.
Can you answer a quick question for me about Thor?
Hmm?
Does he need to take an ibuprofen after a fight?
I mean, we took him to the hospital after a fight.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Okay.
Is Thor?
I said, are you gonna try to fight Thor?
No, I just want to, because Natasha, I told Natasha that Thor was one of the big ones and she got all offended and asked what I meant. And then I said, like, I don't think Thor needs like medical attention after a fight because he's a god from space.
I thought that was a nickname, like,
No.
You mean the god from Norse mythology?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's an Avenger.
There's a very annoying brother named Loki.
Yeah, his brother causes issues, but Thor's all right.
Siblings, right?
Oh, I can agree with that. She's not my actual sister, like blood related, but Courtney and Yolanda can make fun of me forever, and it's so annoying.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. My brother and I were orphaned as children. So we signed up for experimentations because, we lived on the streets. It was that or living on the streets. Got some cool powers. He died. I'm kind of an Avenger now. I don't really like the term, but I am one. And yeah, I'm not giving a lot. I've done a lot of,
Okay. Well, it's very nice to meet you all, I guess.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, Captain Carter, you just essentially took the place of Steve Rogers then in your universe? So, like
That
Captain America?
that seems to be the case. So I had some experience with Doctor Strange, as he called himself, um, and he explained that his universe as well. It was Steve that received the serum as was intended. So I believe, as far as I'm aware, that was the one main difference. Of course, I'm not sure how different the universes ended up from other universes, but
Yeah.
arrived in 2012 New York. Loki invaded. I helped to stop Loki along with Clint Bolton and Natasha Romanoff and Thor, who came down, and yeah, and Tony Stark, of course, but who is, as much as he seems to hate it, very similar to his father Howard. But
I'm definitely not going to tell my father that you exist, because then he will most definitely be bothering you forever. He has a sort of obsession with Captain America because he was supposed to be the Soviets' super soldier. And so now he just thinks that he's like the coolest, and he wants to like trade war stories with Captain America. So like, I will be sure to keep you off his radar because he can be very annoying.
I'd appreciate that, actually. Natasha spoke about Lexi as well, and from the sounds of it, I don't plan. I mean, I'm sure he was a lovely father. At least he tried to be, but according to Natasha.
Sometimes, yeah. No, when I was younger, yes.
And a super soldier is what exactly?
I guess that's not really defined super clearly. My understanding
Oh.
is, I keep forgetting people. My apologies. That Bruce Banner also was attempting to mimic the Project Rebirth, and it had unfortunate consequences. The Super Soldier program was supposed to create hundreds of super-powered individuals, enhanced speed, enhanced stamina, enhanced healing, enhanced strength, that kind of stuff. But of course, due to the sabotage, there was only the serum went to me, and that was the end of story. They lost the serum, and we lost Dr. Erskine, who created it. So, although it was recreated, as seen with Alexei and other programs, I'm sure existed.
Oh, I have an hourglass, or had an hourglass that gave me super strength. Kind of similar ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think the serum seems to have slightly different effects on different people. But I guess it also depends on the radiation used and that kind of thing.
Powers from a rock from space. I really just downgraded the entirety of the Infinity Stones, but it is, at the end of the day, a rock from space.
You're right.
We've got a couple of questions. One of them is what is your favorite animal?
Dogs.
Cats.
Considering how much I've heard about owls in the past few days from Beth, I'm gonna say owls.
Probably just cats.
I think I'll have to go with dogs. I have the most experience with dogs. Definitely not octopuses. It's an inside joke, but
I'm gonna say that sounds like a backstory.
interdimensional portal beans, super fun. Highly recommend. I'm not quite sure if that's actually what it was, but that was what it resembled.
Or ask coffee or tea.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say coffee.
I spend a lot of hours in front of a screen. I need coffee in my life.
I I don't know if my answer is particularly shocking, but T.
I am also T.
I would
I'm
have
not
never
alone.
I would have never guessed from the big Union Jack on your outfit.
Just, very classic T answer. You can't be a good T. I will say T is different in America, so it's much better in the UK.
Yes.
You should meet the Shade. He's British too, and he's a supervillain. But he's
Well, that
working
might
on it.
dampen relations.
He's working on it.
He's working on it. Oh, I really felt that one.
Oh, Wanda. Oh no.
We have another or question, just a little bit more dark. It's arson or tax fraud.
Well, I have been trained in both. But
I said, of course you have.
yes, they teach you everything in the Red Room. But I would have to say the much more fun of the two is arson. So
Yeah, tax fraud just seems like it's a lot of paperwork.
it is a lot of paperwork, and I don't like it because you're just sitting at this desk and you have to do all the numbers, and I don't like it. So I like to set things on fire instead.
Oh, well, for my answer, it'd be tax fraud because I'm very good at what I do: computers, paperwork, crunching numbers.
I thought we were just confessing to tax fraud, and I was like, wow, bold.
Darcy's like,
Why would I
I've done it
confess?
3 times.
I've flown under the radar so far. Why would I confess now?
I've never intentionally committed tax fraud, but I will say things get very confusing when you're gone for an extended period of time, and then there's military back pay and all this other nonsense. So I have not intentionally committed tax fraud. However, things were complicated and there may have been mistakes. I'm also not great at computers yet, so I've been told try Credit Karma or whatever it's called. I'm not even sure if that works in the UK though. So
Probably arson. It's more fun.
Someone is bothering Rick Tyler.
I see that.
I wonder if it's this Beth girl he keeps talking about.
Possibly.
I'm getting a feeling about her.
What about her?
You tell me. What about her?
No, I just heard her name. Is everything?
I don't know.
going on?
You just keep mentioning her, so I just get a little feeling. I'm good at reading people, you could say.
Oh, okay. No, it was Courtney trying to have her moment in the spotlight. Beth doesn't really bother me.
Of course
I'm
not.
actually fixing her goggles right now, and you can wipe that smile off your face. Thank you.
No, I don't think I will.
Anyway, Nyx asked favorite mission or assignment. I think we should answer that.
I mean, I guess my favorite mission would probably have to be taking down the Red Room. I mean, that was pretty cool.
I think I'm gonna have to say the first mission after Howard gave Steve the Hydra Stomper as it was donned. Not the one where Steve surprised us with the Hydra Stomper, but the first mission with the Hydra Stomper and Steve was, went really well. That, yeah.
When we stopped the Injustice Society, that was a good day.
I don't really do missions. It's not really my thing. But my favorite time I've worked with a team of people was we watched The Hex, and we watched it as a TV show. So it was fun to work that out.
glad you enjoyed yourself watching my trauma.
There were a lot of really good plot twists and some really nice framing episodes.
Wait, you watched her trauma?
I messed the universe parallel thing, you know. Grief makes you do weird things, and I controlled a town for a little while. Darcy was on the team that helped figure that out.
Excuse me, I have figured it out. Nobody else on that team did nada.
Honestly, no one's told me what happened, so I really can't.
You know, we all make mistakes. We all make boo-boos and problems.
All I know is you rammed an ice cream truck into an absolute insert word there, so I can't be mad at you.
And I would do it again.
Okay.
He chained me to a car.
Yeah, that's fair then.
Favorite assignment. I don't know, because I'm taking on Thanos one-on-one, maybe not the smartest choice, but was pretty cool. Didn't completely end like on my part, but definitely helped the situation.
Thanos is a bad guy, I'm assuming, so good job.
Oh yeah. Where was your can't read. Where was your secret hiding place as a child?
I can go first. Mine was there was this giant tree in our backyard, and I used to climb into that tree. And if I, stayed on the backside, my mom couldn't find me when she was, looking to lecture me about being a better behaved, little girl and all those other things. Because I just wanted to fight dragons as a kid. Do not recommend actually fighting dragons or similar. As I became an adult, I realized that was not what I wanted to do. But yeah, that was my hiding place.
West Farms has a barn, so I kind of hid there when my uncle got a little too intense.
My parents had like an office that was filled with all their computer equipment, and I used to be able to fit behind the desk and hide amongst the wiring.
Once I got to the red room, there's not much hiding you can do there. But before that, when Natasha and I lived in Ohio, we had like a play set in the backyard with like swings and all the slide and the things. And it had a little like fort. And so I liked to go in there sometimes.
I didn't really have a secret hiding place. Nyx asked if you had to choose to work with an OG Avenger, which one would you team up with? Okay, here for Rick. The OG Avengers are Tony Stark or Iron Man. So he has a super suit that he made.
Tin suit.
He has a lot more, but like he's in a super suit. Captain America, so American male version of Captain Carter. Not as cool in my opinion, but don't tell him I said that.
Thank you.
Bruce Banner or the Hulk, he attempted to recreate the super soldier serum, but now he just becomes a giant green man when he's really mad, but he's really powerful. So he did still kind of do it. He just has a little bit of a wonky relationship with that side of him. Yeah. Thor, so literal guy from Norse mythology. Natasha, Black Widow. So she's a widow like Yelena. And Clinton Barton, Hawkeye. He's good at archery.
Okay.
Just so you have some.
Thank you. I was so confused.
Some reference, yeah.
So it's kind of tied between Natasha because I already work with a bunch of girls, so it kind of be the same. And wait, who's the smartest member on that team? The
Bruce
OG.
Banner.
Bruce Banner?
Bruce
Okay,
Banner.
then him, because I might as well be the bronze to brains.
I mean, I've already worked with Thor and tasered him and hit him with a car. So, like, I suppose Thor, so I can make it up to him.
Okay.
He's so forgiving. I'm sure he doesn't even think about it, honestly.
Am I allowed to say Natasha, or is that cheating?
I mean,
I said Thor, you can say Natasha.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I will definitely pick Natasha, Black Widow.
So I have gone on a couple of missions, like, since becoming back to, I don't know, out of that interdimensional portal. I've gone on several missions with Natasha, and she always has my back. So, but I would be very interested to see a universe and team up with in a universe where Steve Rogers received the serum. I still feel bad that I, took the opportunity for him. I mean, he couldn't receive the serum at the time. We were going to lose the project, but.
I've already worked with most of them kind of on different occasions, but I'd probably say Natasha has been my favorite one I've worked with. I mean, Clint's helped me out a couple times, but still.
Yeah, I feel like Clint would be my second choice because he's Natasha's best friend, so. Oh, there's one for me? Oh, you shouldn't have. Yelena, favorite memory growing up. Oh, well, I'm laughing because like growing up for me was like the first 6 years of my life, and that's it. So, but
Yeah.
Definitely playing with Natasha outside. I liked taking drives in the car and listening to music with my family. Just moments where everything seemed like really, I guess, like normal. Yeah. Super exciting.
I have there's a question.
Oh, if you have a question, go for it though.
I was gonna ask, who's your favorite teammate?
I have to say Jane went from being mentor to best friend. The reason that I got to work with Thor and that we ended up working with Shield. So I guess Jane's my favorite teammate. She's the only teammate I've ever really had.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any consistent teammates unless, I mean, like there is a whole network of widows, but so I mean, I guess you could count them, but now we've all kind of gone like separate ways now that the Red Room is gone. So I guess once again, to be cheesy, my favorite teammate is Natasha. Anyway, that's mushy, but it's true.
I've said this already, but and not to sound like I'm just copying Elena's answers, but I've worked with Natasha a lot. And again, she's always had my back, and so
Yeah, no, it's okay. Natasha's the best. We
I
can
know.
all say this. It's fine.
Will probably have to say Vision was always my favorite teammate.
Storyverse Lives. Oh, South, right? Is that an echo? Or is that just me?
I think that was just you.
So you can hear me still?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Storyverse Live said, is there anyone that you're wondering about and if they're okay?
I guess I'm always kind of thinking about the other widows that got out and what they're up to and what they're doing and if they're okay and how they're adjusting to life outside in the real world. Yeah, I just hope they're all living the lives that they want to live now.
I'd say I'm wondering if that's okay because she kind of trusted me with Chuck, and I just hope she's okay.
There's not really anyone that I'm wondering about. I mean, everyone I'm close with, I'm in regular contact with, so.
I have an interesting situation where most of the people that I do wonder about, I have historical records to go through, and I mean, but you only glimpse so much from those records. So I always wish I had been able to be there for Howard. My understanding is things kind of went downhill, at least according to Tony's relationship with him. And I just wish that I had been able to be there for Howard. We were always very close friends, and I don't know if it would have changed anything, but he was a good man, and he didn't end up being a very great father, and so part of me is always wondering what happened, what caused that. Um, of course, Steve, I was very close to Steve, and yeah, and then my brother, when I went through the portal, it was my understanding that he had died in the war. And then when I came back, I found out that, well, he was still deceased, but he hadn't died during the war. He'd actually married and had a daughter. Um, so I had a surprise niece when I came out of that portal. But still, would have liked to have known more about my brother.
The question for you, Darcy.
Ooh.
If you had to choose, who would you choose to work with, Tony Stark or Peter Parker?
That's a hard question because there's like loads of big reasons for this. But the main two is like Tony Stark has all the tech, the iron suits and the arc reactor, which is amazing, and I'd love to get my hands on like the science behind it and learn what technology makes it tick. But also, he is much older than I, and therefore has much different ways of going about things where I feel like even though Peter is younger than me by a few years, I think there's maybe like 5 or 6 years difference between Peter and I. I feel like the closer age gap would probably make him a bit easier to work with. Plus, he knows all the cool new sciences, like the web fluid is amazing. I'd love to learn how to make that. So it's hard choice, but probably Peter.
Aurora asked thoughts on Spider-Man.
Which is ironic because we're just talking about Peter Parker. So here we go.
Whoa, wait, teenagers. Oh, I guess I'm a teenager, so I can't say that.
Yes. He seems pretty cool. I've never met him, but I think I would really like to. He seems like a lot of fun.
Interactions I've had with him, he's very much what you expect of a teenage boy, but like not in a like derogatory way. He's a very sweet kid.
Yeah.
He did in fact take Captain America's shield from him though at one point, which yes, I was on Steve's side, but it was a little funny.
Oh, that is so that is so
He was
cool.
15 when he did that one.
Oh, I gotta talk to him.
He definitely seems very cool.
From what I've heard from all of you, yeah, definitely seems cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't interacted with Spider-Man very much, so, but seems like he's trying his best to do the right thing for his neighborhood, so.
And I think he and I could bond over being like put in these kinds of situations so young, which is like maybe not like a super happy thing to bond about, but I feel like we would understand each other because I too at 15 was toppling regimes and things. So like,
I don't know if he was toppling. You know
well,
what?
okay, you know what? Same difference. He got thrust onto a team of superheroes, and I was, taking out government officials. So like, it's fine.
Very different things.
Yes, but still a lot of skill and required and a lot of pressure put on you, and you're just kind of put into this life that you didn't necessarily choose. So I think we would get along.
Okay. What's something that is common today that humans will be embarrassed about doing in 50 years?
So many things. I think the biggest one maybe will be our technological addiction. Everybody is amazed with technology, of posting their lives on social media. I mean, I am a culprit of it too, so I can't really complain. But I think in 50 years' time, people are going to look back and go, wow, why did I post everything about myself?
That's a good point.
I think the story is going to be similar as it's always been in a sense, like not doing enough for the next generation of humans that get to inherit this earth. As someone who was able to see 70 years, what was like 70 years ago, I know that I wish that my generation, I guess, had done more to help the planet and help future generations and help kind of stop some of these problems. Obviously, we weren't great at stopping problems. We had two world wars and a couple of decades of each other, so we weren't the best at it. But I wish we had tried harder, I guess.
The mistreatment of everybody. Just, I don't know. It's just what I thought.
going off of that, I like to think that in 50 years, people will be very embarrassed about their views of women, and what we can and cannot do. So,
Yeah.
There's been massive improvement, but there's still much more room for
oh yeah,
improvement, so
and like literally, the red room just got taken out like so recently that it's like, how was that still going on? But here we are.
I would like to think that had I received the super soldier serum in, let's say 2012, I would have been received better than I had in the 40s, but I unfortunately don't think there'd be too much of a difference. I'm not sure Shield would want to waste even Shield would want to waste their one shot on a woman. So that was the sentiment when I received the serum in the 40s.
Yep, I can't say it probably would have been much different.
Nyx asked Darcy thoughts on Princess Shuri.
I have never met Princess Shuri. I know of Princess Shuri and of Wakanda. Thank you to Jane and Thor. Obviously, they were there. Thor was there for the battle with Thanos. So I know that she's cool. She's a very techie again. So probably somebody I would love to meet.
He is literally smarter than Tony and Bruce put together. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Aurora asked, what's your favorite modern electronic? I mean, I'm probably going to be basic and just say my phone.
Yeah, I'm also going to say my phone because now I can actually use it for like pleasure instead of just like missions and stuff. Like, and everything that I do is not being tracked by Dracob. So now I can actually like, I've never had an Instagram before, but now I can like go on and look at photos. It's pretty nice. So yeah, probably my phone.
To add on to that, I also am gonna say the phone, but I don't really post much on Instagram. I kind of just like my friends' posts.
I'm gonna try to be a little bit different, but basically the same vein. I struggled a little bit with the touchscreen part of the phones. It's just the tapping and I'm getting better at it, but it was a little bit of an adjustment. We didn't even have computers in the 40s. We had a couple of supercomputers, I think 3 or 4 in the world, and that was it. But the computer has come massively far. It doesn't take up a whole building anymore. And I find it very useful.
I am an avid fan of a gaming console. My current obsession is a good Nintendo Switch. I really enjoy just spending hours just chilling and playing games. I'm currently working on playing Breath of the Wild because it's just so big and immersive. So I'm going to go with the gaming consoles, the Switch.
Oh, I got another one? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yelena Nix Osborne says, Yelena, where all do you want to go visit now that you have the freedom to do so? Oh man. Honestly, I really think that, as cheesy as it sounds, I would love to do like just like every touristy thing that you can think of. Like, I really want to go to like I just want to feel like a tourist instead of like having to hide everywhere where I go. So like I'd love to go to like the Eiffel Tower and just like sit there and enjoy it, and like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and like all these amazing like landmarks and stuff, and just kind of do all the touristy things. And also I really, really want a beach vacation. I've never been able to just like lay on the beach before. So I think that would be really cool. I'm a little bit nervous about the ocean though, but I think it would be really cool.
We have another question. Do you consider telling white lies to be okay?
White lies?
White lies.
Yeah. Like little bit.
Like little, like not super like detrimental.
Oh, okay. I guess.
I mean, that was kind of my whole job. So
Being a spy.
yeah, you know, when that's your occupation, you kind of have to tell a lot of lies to get your job done. But like in regular life, it's different. But I guess like I don't know, maybe in moderation.
Probably it depends on the situation.
I think a white lie is okay as long as it betters somebody or something.
Like me telling Clint he's not the dorkiest of the OG Avengers.
It's
That
just a
was
lie.
nice.
That's
That
not
was
a white lie, that's just a regular lie.
No.
Wait, wouldn't Dr. Banner be the dorkiest?
Oh, not in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
I mean, from what I've heard of the Battle of New York, Clint Barton took 23 arrows and said that's enough. So
He did. I'm not I'm not downgrading. I just, when you come to a freshly 18-year-old and ask for emotional support, that's the lies you get usually.
I mean, I fudged a couple of details on my enlistment forms, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's too late for them to prosecute me, so we're fine. And technically, it wasn't me; it was Michael. The SOE had an age requirement, and I wasn't quite there yet, so it's fine.
Okay.
War wasn't gonna wait for anyone, so. And I was just doing code breaking. I was actually, the right age by the time I actually was enlisted to the SSR, so.
Okay.
Next is asking us, what is everyone's dream vacation?
I mean, I kind of already answered that one, so go ahead.
somewhere with like a lot of tech would be amazing. I mean, like a casino that was like closed to the public where I could just like look at all the machines and see how things work and take things apart without any repercussions. Because I take things apart normally and people go, hey, why are you taking this apart? And sometimes I just want the wire out of one to put in the other.
I guess I'd like to go somewhere with a beach, like take my friends on like some sort of road trip.
I'd like to go back to London at some point. When I was there, it was more of a undercover, off the grid situation. So I'd like to actually experience that city because it was very beautiful. I just couldn't really wander around when my name and face were known as breaking the Sokovian Accords.
Oh, are you okay now?
One day at a time.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. Natasha was having the same problem. That's
Yes, well, Nat was also on Steve and Tony's side during Civil War because, gotta play both sides. I supported it. I thought it was smart because she was really just trying to get them in the same room so they could talk. But they didn't want to do that because men can't control themselves.
And it is the widow nature to play both sides to get what you want. So
This is probably going to make me sound dated, but when I was a teenager, my family took a trip via train across Europe, which was very cool. And so I think it'd be cool to do a similar thing. I think they have some train lines in the states that do, large swaths of country. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You don't you do any actual traveling. The traveling's done for you. So
that's true. Oh, we got a question for my bestie Wanda. Wanda, favorite memory?
Probably watching, as silly as it sounds, probably watching American sitcoms with my family growing up. They weren't allowed in Sokovia, so they were smuggled TV shows that my father would get, but we would watch them as a family. It was very fun, and it was also partially how I learned English. So.
That's cute.
Marvelously misguided asked us if you could have your picture taken by any friendly neighborhood photographer, who would you choose to take your photo?
What?
I feel like this is intentionally leaning toward making us say Peter Parker.
Photography?
Yeah. I've heard he does.
He does. I've seen a bit of it around.
So I would say the Peter Parker. I would love for him to take my photo. I think it would be a great headshot, I could use it for all of my things that I need headshots for.
I can't believe Yelena's getting into acting.
I guess so. I mean, if he took my headshot, I don't want it to be for nothing. Then maybe I'll have to audition for something.
And you have such a nice jacket. You can take a full jacket shot too.
Oh, thank you. This is so cool.
That's
right?
all the pockets.
Oh, so many pockets. You can fit so much stuff in here you wouldn't even know.
There's a pocket full of pennies in there somewhere, and I'm mad about it.
Yes, I love to keep a pocket full of pennies because I think it would be a funny prank to, if I'm shopping and I get something small that doesn't cost a lot of money, to just pay in all pennies.
You are a cashier's worst nightmare.
I've told her this.
I just think it'd be a little funny. It's a little funny.
You are a cashier's worst nightmare.
I've never pulled pranks before. I just think it'd be a little bit funny.
Pranks are cool. I mean, I wouldn't prank the customer service industry, but
that's a fair point, but also we'll see. I'll keep my pocket full of pennies for now.
I mean, I paid for plenty of things with pennies in the 40s.
But I was going to say, but times were different then.
A lot of things cost less than $1, so. I don't know any photographers, so I'm sure any photographer is going to be better than whoever she would hire us for the headshot things. They had to do photos for like a file or something. I don't know.
yeah, I guess if anyone was to stop me in the street, I'd be surprised for one because I am not well known. But yeah, whoever wanted to take my photo.
just a photographer. I don't really know this. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Peter Parker one just because I didn't know he did photography, and I'm like, all right, sure.
This one I feel like is related to our previous conversation, so I'm gonna pose it. Next, ask Yelena. If you had to choose to prank an Avenger, who would you choose?
Oh.
Too
Well,
many options because it's not just OG Avengers.
oh, that's right. That's right. That's true. Ooh. Oh, there's so many of you guys now. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like I would probably have to prank Clint. Um, you know, I just think that okay, like not only is he Natasha's best friend, but I also just think that he would be very funny to prank. And also he has children, so he's probably used to some kinds of pranks. Yeah, like a lot of tomfoolery going on over there. So I don't know. I just think he'd be funny to prank. I'd have to think of a good one. Yeah, I'll go with Clint. I'll go with Clint.
There's a question that says, what's the story behind why you replaced the lost phone you had? Mine is not a fun story. I mean, this is going to sound like I'm blaming Wanda. Wanda, I'm not blaming you. If anyone's to blame, it's General Hayward. But the reason I had to last replace my phone was because going into the hex destroyed it.
I really didn't know what I was doing, so my bad.
I mean, it's definitely not your fault I ended up in the hex. That entirely is down on General Hayward. So, like,
That's true. I'm trying to think.
Same.
Mine was an oopsie due to not quite understanding how fragile phones are. I jumped out of an airplane without a parachute, and when I hit the water, I don't know if it was the water or the impact, but didn't work afterwards. So
Maybe both.
Probably a little both.
I was kind of hoping you were gonna say you crushed it with your bare hands, but
I never got a briefing on how to not damage a cell phone. So it just was given a cell phone like, here, you're gonna need this, and kind of just left to my own devices. And then they thought I was trying to prank them. Actually, I went to the library. They had a senior citizen phone assistant like workshop, and they thought I was teasing them. So I did not get the assistance I needed that day.
oh no.
So I was making fun of Courtney for her crush on this kid we go to school with, and she took her cosmic staff and blasted my phone with it. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's a little funny.
It's fine.
Okay, it's a little funny. I acknowledge that.
I think my last one was I was doing a little bit of, freelance work. And one of my I have these like wrist like blaster things. One of them kind of like malfunctioned, and it like sparked, and then it kind of like electrocuted my arm, and the little like pocket of my jacket that the phone was in got a little bit fried. So I got it, not the phone fixed, I got the blaster fixed, but I did have to get a new phone. It did not survive that.
I think the last phone that got messed up was when Vision and myself got ambushed in London. It literally was just cracked too. I'm so mad that we were literally fighting aliens, and all that happened to my phone was the screen cracked and it wouldn't turn back on. So I got a new phone. But when I got blipped, that phone came back fine.
Flip?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, trauma.
No, it's just a lot to explain.
All right, I think we'll do these final 3 questions we have, and then we'll wrap it there, because I think the final one we have in there is a good one to end on.
Yeah.
But so Marvelous Misguided asked us if we prefer being in New York or the other places you have been.
I only really spend a lot of time traveling. I travel for work. It's literally in my job description to not be in any one particular place. But I did enjoy, I mean, it wasn't fun because we were being attacked by a giant alien spaceship, but London was cool. Got to hang out with Thor again there. So yeah, probably London is like the place I spent the most time recently.
I live in Nebraska. So I'll say Nebraska because I've never been to New York.
Our universe, New York, gets attacked a lot.
I'll stay in here then. Thanks.
That's probably a smart idea, yeah.
Let's see. I grew up in London. I do personally love London. I'm gonna do some ranking here though. So I've seen 1940s New York, 1940s London, and then 2000s London and New York. So I'm gonna say 2000s New York is actually pretty high up on the list. I've grown really attached to New York since coming back. Spent a lot of time there now. Followed by, let's see, I think it's followed by 40s London, and then yeah.
I mean, I also don't really like stay in one place long. I never really have. But New York is definitely cool. Like I love the vibe there. I also think it could be nice to like go back to somewhere in like the Midwest where it's just very quiet. Um yeah, I don't think I really have a preference. I think I just kind of make the best of whatever, wherever I end up.
So in the same boat of I've kind of been all over the place, and my home country is not an option. So not really sure. I mean, I'm actually I don't think I've even been to New York. I say that, but they've been it gets attacked a lot, but I don't know.
All right. Next asks us, Evelyn, if you could jump multiverses or go back in time, who would you want to meet or see again?
My parents.
Love to go back in time and re-meet Thor. I mean, there are so many things that could have been done differently the first time we met him. And maybe we could have helped Shield out a little bit and kind of figured out the mystery of the hammer a lot faster if we hadn't sent him to the hospital.
Yeah, I'd probably go back to see Pietro, my brother, or my parents. I mean, I guess I could jump back far enough to see all 3 of them, but I think I'm going to stick with Pietro for this specific question.
Yeah, similar to that. I think I would go back and see Natasha.
I'm torn. I expressed already in this panel that I'd be interested in seeing a universe where Steve got the serum. I would also be interested in going back to the 1940s New York. There's a lot of people there that I left behind. I don't think I'd want to stay though. Like I just everything happens for a reason, and this was my fate. I don't think I meant to, return to the 40s and stay there, but it would be nice to visit. And for our final question, this is also next. It's one for Yelena, and it is, who all in the panel is a poser?
Oh, I get to pass my judgment on to everybody. Okay. Okay, well, first of all, I will start by saying that none of you are as big a poser as Natasha, who is the biggest poser ever in the world, ever. She did the thing with the leg and the hair and the flip in the, it felt like she thought everybody was looking at her all the time. I don't know. I mean, like, I've never seen Captain Carter in action, but based on what I know about Captain America, probably a pretty big poser. But again, not as big as Natasha. I've never seen Rick in action either, so I am not sure. Darcy, I feel like, I mean, obviously you don't do like the superhero fighting, but like your behind the scenes stuff, I feel like maybe a little bit, because I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit, just a little bit. Like, you just like, you figure something out on the computer and you're all like, haha, like, this is my big discovery. Like, so like maybe just a little bit. And then Wanda, I feel like Wanda's in between Captain Carter and Darcy, because you do all like the fancy like hand things, and like I know you have to for your magic, but like also it's a little bit showy, and so I think like somewhere in between. And also, like, I mean, you always look good, like your outfits are always amazing, but also very like, what is the word, like emo. So I feel like,
can't argue this is so rude.
I'm right, yeah, like
I can't argue either. I will say I'm not winning any points by continuing to wear my Union Jack get up and, a matching shield.
yeah.
I can't argue.
I mean, at least I'm conspicuously dressed. I did steal a shield jacket while I worked for them, but most of them
Little
I give you
souvenir.
props for that. Stealing from Shield in like a not detrimental way.
Yeah.
I attempted it.
comfy jacket too.
Yeah.
Like, props to whoever's jacket this was, but it's
Yeah, it looks cool.
I just have this. It's not my Owlman costume, but it's just regular clothes.
I feel like if I had showed up in the full Scarlet Witch fit, Yelena would have absolutely roasted me today. So I made the right choice.
We went casual today, except for Captain Carter.
Captain Carter missed.
Yeah, no one. I don't know how email works quite very well at this moment. Apparently, you could get kind of notifications. I don't have it set for that. I guess I missed the dress code agenda.
Captain Carter missed the memo.
You missed the PowerPoint.
Right, the PowerPoint.
Okay.
All right, that was a good last question.
I thought so.
I like that one.
It was a nice way to round it out.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well.
Stay safe, everyone.
Yep.
Drink some water. Wash your hands. Wear a mask.
Yeah.
Don't be friends with people like General Hayward, because sucky people.
In general, just avoid generals. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Avoid generals.
Captains are much cooler.
There you go. Yeah.
Don't sneeze on people. That's rude.
Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Taze the Writer. Thank you so much for joining us for a superhero panel. We hope you guys had fun. We'll be back next week with some more panels, so check back in on that. If you haven't checked out our social medias yet, I highly encourage it. We are on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. But again, thank you all so much, and have a wonderful day.